All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do I have to do the actions to terminate section first?
Go ahead and read this one, and then I'll make the motion.
Okay. So the superintendent recommended that the following certificated employees be given notice of non-reelection for the 2023-2024 school year. On motion by trustee Gutierrez and seconded by trustee Rendon and passed, the board directed the following employees to be given a notice that they are not reelected for the 2023-2024 school year in accordance with Education Code 44929.21, employee ID 3365 and 3254. The foregoing resolution was adopted by the governing board of the Southern Kern Unified School District on the 1st of March 2023, while the following vote, 3 ayes, 2 absent. Okay.
On expulsion hearing, 46-22-23, asking for consideration of violation of Education Code 48900A2 to not to expel student and allow him to return to the school of record with conditions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty. Okay. Recording of this meeting is being made and shall be kept for 30 days as public record. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I will have Mrs. Finch.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, Okay, roll call. Bob is absent, Mario is here, Adrian is here, I am here, Dwayne is absent, and Alexi is here. And approve the agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you very much. All in favor? Aye.
With the correction.
Oh, with the correction.
Which correction?
Correction for certificated employees for employee Vanderby. She's not a Spanish teacher, she's an ELD teacher. And then she's also the last one, ELD. And then for Carlson, she's not on step 2, she's on step 28. Right here.
Okay, now I'll make a motion to approve with corrections.
I will second that. Okay, so reports and communications. And do we have a presentation from Mr. Cardin? Kelly Cardin? Sure. Well, RTA report? I'm sorry.
All right, well, first off, lots of things are happening at the elementary sites. This week, we are participating in Read Across America Week, lots of nice dress-up days. Tomorrow, West Park Elementary will be having the Dr. Seuss Riff Assembly with the High School Drama Club performing for our students. I would like to thank Kim Schmidt for organizing this and the other activities tomorrow. Well, we're in the third quarter, is getting close to being over. Thanks to all teachers for working so hard for each student that we see teach each day. Then last Thursday, Barbara Gaines and I met for our monthly meeting, and it was a very productive meeting. One of the concerns I'd like to kind of be aware of is the overage with RSP and at Tropical Middle School and Roseman High School. Please monitor which class is over and please help with these. Yesterday, the first LCAP meeting was given by Dan Wexler. He presented the goals, actions, and asked for changes for improvement. Myself and another 3 teachers presented our thoughts and ideals when asked. We asked for For instance, we asked for curriculum and universal access, or UA, more paraeducators in the grades K through third, and some other ideas for improving our district and its students in need of extra help. Thanks to Dan again for organizing this, and that's it.
Thank you very much. Do we have a CSEA report? All of you?
I went to the dark side.
I did. I guess we have nobody here. All right, student board member Fitch.
Good evening, everyone. If you want to go support drama, they have their variety show on Friday at 7. For senior trips, you have the Universal trip for $109, and then Disneyland for $70. Prom is $100 till March 3rd, then prices raised to $130, and all of these can be purchased with Desiree in the office.
Can adults buy tickets to Disneyland for $70?
Chaperones.
Chaperones, they
We're
always
gonna hang
make
out
them.
with them. Sorry, just kidding. Thank you. CBO report.
All right. Well, thank you guys for braving the cold to be here and, the beautiful weather we've had the last 2 weeks that, put our inclement weather day to the test last week. I want to say thank you to all of the staff that came in on Friday or, at least tried to brave it and then turned around and were like, no, I'm good. It was quiet and quasi-productive. A lot less phone calls than a normal day, weirdly enough. It's been, we've had meetings since the last board meeting about the parent center, where the former COVID center, everything else the building has been, as we gear up to have that opened. And we now have our community school grant coordinator, who is in the crowd today. So looking forward to that. Coming up on next board meeting will be second interim, so there were meetings with the county about, what to look for and how to plan accordingly and everything else, just as we get into, another interim reporting period. This weekend is, I'll be gone for the 9th session for the FICMAC coaching program that I've been a part of since July. Somehow it's already been 9 months of this. It has flown by very quickly. So I will be in Woodland for that for Friday and Saturday. So I want to say thank you to Desiree Castro, transportation supervisor, for her work on the transportation plan and also dealing with the wild weather we've had to figure out, okay, is it actually safe to transport students, or, where do we tap out on, to make sure that we're not rushing headlong into something that we get a bus stuck somewhere, or deal with all the ice and snow and everything else that this mild winter has produced for us. That is it for me.
Thank you, sir. Assistant Superintendent of Instruction and Curriculum.
Good evening, everyone. I have been working diligently to put some things in place, and I'm about 13 more days to go, so I'm trying to get everything set in place so when I leave, the district does not have to worry about too many things in the Ed Services Department. So I have put together the order for summer school curriculum for the elementary and tropical middle school, and then turned the RFP into the business office. So the summer school materials will already be on order. I have communicated with the Roseman High School Science Department, and we've talked about their pilot that they've been doing. They've determined that they would like to bring to you guys at the next board meeting to adopt McGraw-Hill for their science curriculum. They felt that that was the curriculum. They've piloted some last year and several this year, and that was the one that they really feel would have the best impact and they felt most comfortable with moving forward. So that will probably come to the board hopefully next week. And I'm working with McGraw-Hill to bring the quotes to Superintendent Gaines for her review before we bring it to you. I'm finalizing the SIPSAs with the school sites. I'm currently reviewing the 4 school sites that have told me they're done, giving them feedback so they can to make any changes that they need to make, and we'll be bringing those to you on March 15th. And let's see what else. I'm working on finalizing all the remaining PD for the rest of this school year, all the dates and things like that. And I'm setting up some training for August before school starts, so that will all be lined up and ready to go. We're also working with Dr. Becky Wetzel. We've worked on the elementary essential standards for reading. We were supposed to have a session today for K-2 for math. However, due to the weather and her having to drive up here, we canceled that one. I didn't want her to have to travel through some pretty bad weather. Ken O'Connor, I met with him this week, and we made plans for next week's grading committee meeting. We're going to meet again really quickly before that meeting next week just to finalize things. Doug Fisher, teacher clarity work is still continuing. The sessions, we have 3 sessions tomorrow, one with West Park, Roseman High School, and Tropical Middle School. So those are still moving right along. And more than anything, I'd just like to thank everyone here in Southern Kern, I'm gonna cry, for all the support over the years I've been here. Sorry, I didn't think I'd cry. So I'd just like to thank the board and Superintendent Gaines especially for all the support the past couple of years. Being back there in Southern Kern, and all the teachers and staff and everybody, for administrators, for all the support. So thank you. I'm gonna miss everybody.
Thank you. Okay, Associate Superintendent of Human Resources, Ms. Hargis.
All right, good evening, and thank you all for coming. HR is working hard to fill all of our open positions. As John mentioned, we do have some overages in different areas. Unfortunately, some of our SPED positions have been really hard to fill this year, but we are working hard to fill all of those and, begin to fill positions for next school year. We have held some classified interviews this week for paraeducators, some ACES staff. I believe tomorrow is ASB clerk. We have also posted many of our certificated openings for our 23-24 school year. We have had some applicants for those, and we have held some interviews and even are bringing some folks on board for next school year. So you'll start to see some of them on the board agenda as we move through that. So the next job fair that we're going to attend is on Saturday, March 25th, and that's in Bakersfield. And that's a combined job fair with Kern County Superintendent of Schools and the Tulare County Office of Education. So that'll be at the Robobach Arena. So that is a real big job fair with lots of people coming from, hopefully different areas, and we'd like to represent Southern Kern and bring some people down here. Also, we have been in my office talking about having a job fair here in Roseman at Roseman Elementary. I talked with Nat about that today, and he was fully on board with if we wanted to have a job fair over there. He said, yeah, absolutely. And that would be, we were kind of talking about having not only certificated staff, but also classified staff, just really making it a big day and try to bring a lot of people in. We are definitely working on the, the advertisement for that. Couldn't come up with the word advertisement.
It's a long day.
Yeah, so we're working on the advertisement process for that, so that we definitely can bring lots of people in. And that's tentatively scheduled for April 15th. So definitely there'll be more on that, and just know that we are trying to work hard to fill all of those openings. We're aware of those, and we certainly appreciate all of the the extra work that teachers are doing to fill those gaps. Today I think we had something like 21 teachers out, and school sites just pulled together to make sure that students are covered. Our administrators are working hard. Some of them are in the classroom, so we just really appreciate all of the extra effort that teachers and staff, classified staff, our administrators, we do appreciate that extra effort that you do every day. So I do want to wish Leslie well as she moves on to her new position. And that is it.
Thank you. Superintendent's report. Steve?
Good evening, everyone, and good evening to all of our parents and community members at home, hopefully, who are joining us this evening. I, first of all, want to thank our parents who have been volleying back and forth with us, or, when we see snow, should we be closing? And I appreciate your patience, because today, for example, at 5 till 12, we thought, oh, that snow's coming down pretty heavy. And I asked Miss Castro, our supervisor of transportation, can we wait and look at this again at 12:30? And by 12:30, there was not a flake to be found. And, we were back in beautiful, sunny Roseman. So it's hard sometimes. I know it looks pretty dire, but we are trying to keep our students here. So, of course, we never want to jeopardize their safety, but we also do not want to give our staff and students several makeup days at the end of the year when we all want to be enjoying summer or going to summer school. Last Friday, due to the inclement weather day, we did have to cancel, Alexi mentioned it, our variety show put on by the Roseman High Drama Club. It will be back on this Friday, starting at 7 p.m. with $5 per entry to the variety show. So we want to invite everybody to come out and support our drama club for that. Tomorrow we are pretty excited. We believe we will be submitting our application for funding this time for West Park, for TK preschool, for potentially I think it's 11 new classrooms at West Park. And so we'll see how that goes. We were able to come up with the numbers and things that we needed today, and I believe the application will be submitted tomorrow. I want to thank our teachers and admin who have signed up to give part of their summer vacation to attend AVID this year. I believe, Miss Lacey, we have 64. Last year we had 52. I remember it well. And to have more teachers and admin committed to going to AVID this year, I am so excited about that. 64 is a nice number, and it's such a rewarding conference, and you always can tell that the teachers and the admin are loving it, because even at dinner they're still talking what they learned earlier that day in their individual sessions. So thank you, teachers, thank you, admin, for joining us for AVID this summer. I have, Lexi, this thing is just gorgeous. I'm going to turn it around. Last night, our girls Division 6 took second place in Central Section. They were, yes, a big deal. I can't even imagine what that would be like. Lexi, you should have talked a little bit more about, I saw the video of them leaving the school, and they looked like they were gonna really do some serious damage to somebody. They were serious. And this is beautiful. And Mr. Bashant, you gotta be proud of
Very
these
proud.
girls. And I wanna thank Mr. Notterman and his coaching staff for, he must have done a great job of coaching and leading them and working on their skills for them to achieve this. So we're very, very proud. Please relay that to your entire team. I think we'll invite the team, maybe at the next board meeting so that the board members can see everybody and you can bring this back and show it to Mr. Vincelette and also Mr. Moore. Hopefully we'll be here. Okay, I'll give you this back, Mr. Fair. Yes, okay.
That.
You want to look at it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Looks like the
I want to say that today was the first day that we have our new grant coordinator. Ms. Fallon Mitchell is now in the superintendent's office, and do not say, Mr. Gutierrez, that she's gone to the dark side. It's hard enough for us to get people to go in there, and now we just let her do her thing today. We didn't, fix her office. She's in Sally's old office, and, hopefully some of that good vibes that Sally left Fallon will inherit some of those good vibes, because we have a lot of work that we're going to be doing starting next week with the $7.2 million community school grant. So she will be there some of her day, and some of her day she'll be all over this district. But Fallon, thank you and welcome. Welcome. It's not the dark side. Okay. And I think
The green side.
the green side. Not green, but green.
Yeah.
On that, but I also wanted to say to Leslie, daggone Leslie. I gotta say daggone Leslie. This is kind of an embarrassment, but it's not really my fault or Alma's. We ordered this beautiful thing for you that won't be here till tomorrow because of the 58. That 58, I can't get my teachers here, and now I can't get your award. So, but I do want to read this, and I want to say you have done a phenomenal job. Leanne did a phenomenal job. Leanne's in HR now doing a phenomenal job. You stepped in and took over Ed Services. Ed Services is not easy. I know that because you're a lot curriculum, you're PD, you're doing a lot of things, school plans and all sorts of things. I'm not going to go into the weeds, but you've done an incredible job, Leslie. And that daggone superintendency calling you. Anyway, we have an appreciation award that we will present to you tomorrow. Presented to Leslie Lacey, Assistant Superintendent, in recognition of your dedicated service, hard work, and leadership. Southern Kern Unified School District thanks you for 27 years of service. And that's just kind of, it's like a glass type of thing that you're gonna get to put on in your new office. So I'm sorry that it's not here. I was like, what? Oh, yeah. But you will be missed. You will be missed, and don't change your cell phone number because we'll probably be calling you a lot. Yeah.
Whatever you need.
You might work the graveyard shift for us or something.
What is that called? Consultant?
Consultant, there you go. All right.
Fees in the evenings.
We wish you the very best. I wish you the very best.
Board member communications, start with Mario.
I want to thank everybody for coming, could make it here. For those that are watching, thank you for tuning in. And I want to thank the staff for everything they've been putting up with the weather this week. It's just been tough. That's all I can say. Chasing kids in the cold and make sure they get here, make sure they get home. Transportation's been really on the ball. They've been out there way early. I don't think there's any life at 3:30 in the morning when they go out and check the routes to make sure that they can get in. So many thanks to them. And with that, I will pass on to.
Nope, I'm in charge.
Okay.
Adrian, you're next.
So I jotted down a couple notes here, so good evening and thank you all for joining us. Let's see, it's a little messy here. So I was also happy to know that drama was able to reschedule. So I'm looking to hopefully go and watch that tomorrow. It's always great.
Friday.
Oh, I'm
But
jumping.
there, you can come to the, you can come
Yes.
to the, I'll try to remember to send you guys the times. So
Oh,
you guys
that's
can,
smart.
yes.
Yes,
you can come
I
with
would
us.
love to go and see that, yes. Congratulations to our girls RHS soccer team for taking second, that's amazing. Let's see, there was a meeting last week at RES on attendance and inviting parents, and I don't think anyone was here from RES. It was kind of parent, oh, yes, how did that go?
It was actually wonderful. We had over 60 families coming. It was way better than we ever could imagine. Our wonderful PTA provided snacks, and we also were able to kind of entice families to come with a couple of raffles that we did for our students. We had some toy raffles, and our PTA also donated some spiritware for families who came. And we just, highlighted the importance of being in school each day. The more you come, the more you know. We gave them, we actually also had Desiree from transportation there to have anybody that needed access to, information with transportation or signing up. We also had Yesenia from our district office there, and which was great because they, were able to put a face to the person that they call at the district, and hoping that they can give her some grace too, because she's just doing her job. And it was a wonderful meeting, and I thank all the parents that came and showed up, and all the support that we had for that.
Great, yes, I was, that I wasn't able to attend, because I wanted to sneak in the back. Let's see, so, that one, I got that one. I would like to maybe, talk about my concern, on the behaviors at some of our campuses. And I think we need to, possibly have some kind of informational assemblies on maybe addressing mental health and social media, and I think that would be really beneficial. Just to kind of, give us a little bit of guidance and maybe speak to our students. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm hoping to visit some campuses soon. I haven't been able to get out and do that, and I know I've been meaning to go to RHS. I would like to go to Abraham Lincoln and Rare Earth. Everybody, RES, WES. Let's see. Oh, and I don't want to forget Miss Lacey. Is sad to see you go. I'm emotional too.
Oh, you got this.
You were a principal too. All your kids. So good luck. That's why.
Thank you, Rachel. Okay, guys, thank you guys all for being here. Everybody that's listening, as you can see, I'm the president today, so this has been fun. What did I want to say? Oh my gosh. So I was on campus, I was at West Park last week, and these kids were like, oh, do you know so-and-so? And I was like, yeah, I know so-and-so. They're like, oh, and this little girl gave me a sticker. And I was like, I don't know what I should do with it. So I have my little sticker here. I felt like a celebrity. She was like, oh, there's her picture right there. And I was like, yeah, that's right. And these kids are great. And I love seeing them every day. I actually walk in the snow to get to school. It's like 500 feet, it's not that far. But these kids love being at school. They love the snow today at the elementary school. Oh my God, it's snow. Yeah. It's just really exciting. To kind of echo off of what Adrian has said regarding behavior, it's middle school. I'm just going to say it right now. It's middle school. And we need to teach these kids that using your hands or using violence is not the way. You can communicate, you are above that. And we could say it until we're blue in the face, but it's also up to the parents to echo this to their children and to, teach them that violence is not the answer. Fighting is not fun. You don't need to harm somebody. It's so many other ways to go about it, to communicate with each other, to whatever we need to do to kind of stop this. It's not just here. It's happening at all the schools in the district, not in the district, but in the valley. It's not an isolated situation. It's a generational thing. And it's something that we definitely need to resolve or alleviate or just help however we can. So I agree with Adrian in regards to we need to figure this situation out. When it gets warm, I will come and help you in the garden. I will help you lay your irrigation. We will plant some seeds, and I am for that. So yes, when it's warm.
You're always welcome.
I planted seeds in my garden, and I was like, it wasn't seeds, it was seedlings, but they were cold tolerant, and it was a little too early, and they died. But that's how you learn, right? You're like, arugula won't survive in the cold. Oh well. That's all I have. And we are going to miss you. You were my daughter's principal as well at West Park, and I see you. And good luck. And I'm excited for your new adventure and what the future holds. Any comments from the public, Alma?
Yes, there's one.
Okay, so we have a letter.
Disclaimer.
Oh, okay. Members of the public may address the board on any item within the jurisdiction of the board by submitting presentation requests to the secretary or an email. Members of the public are strongly urged not to mention personnel by name and are reminded that they do not have immunity from legal action if personnel is named. The board may limit each speaker to 3 minutes with a total of 20 minutes per topic. Okay, so we have a letter. Good afternoon, SKUSD board members. Some of you may know me personally. I am an RHS alumni. I was the first student board member serving with Dr. Shear. My husband is also a RHS alumni, and we are currently raising our 5 children in Roseman and have one child who is now an RHS alumni. Our daughters are at RHS currently, and our youngest son is at West Park. And our son, Blank, is currently at TMS. My mom was on staff for nearly 30 years at SKUSD, not including the time she volunteered before she became an employee. We have in-laws and siblings currently serving on staff and in administration. We support and want to see the teachers in schools succeed because our children are here and we live in this community. I'm reaching out on you on behalf of our son. Can I say the son's name? No, on our son, Blake. He has experienced many things most 12-year-olds have not. A violent shooting at our home where 9 bullets entered into the back of our home and master bedroom on an early summer evening. In the past 8 months, he's witnessed his uncle in a state of overdose, the death of his cousin just short of his 3rd birthday, the death of his friend's dad and a close family friend recently put on hospice. He has found support in California Cadet Corps and his teacher, Blank. COVID was the hardest on him when he started at Tropical Middle School. He found his place in Cadet Corps and supported from teacher Blank. She helped him believe in himself. She came to parades to see all of her Cadet Corps students whom she had just met. She continued to show him support when Blank was struggling. She has helped him to understand his IEP and his visual processing disorder and his ADD and ADHD brain. She has been a support, and her classroom has been safe and rewarding place of encouragement and empowerment. I am disheartened to learn that in the state that SKUSD is in across the board with teacher shortages, lack of substitute teachers, hard to find long-term subs and teachers in general, the fact that blank is up for non-reelect is appalling to me. She loves her students and pushes them to succeed. Junior high school, middle school teachers are a special type of soul. Have you met middle schoolers? They are awkward and rebellious, trying to figure out their place in the world among social media and things we never had to deal with. I know some of you, and I'm willing to bet you are glad social media didn't record your teen and rebellious years. This is true. In this critical time of teacher shortages, I cannot fathom not rehiring a teacher who loves children and wants to be there for them. Tropical Middle School has had a bad rap for years. We see daily on social media pages the fights, lockdowns, and unrest. All of the more reason blank should continue to teach at Tropical Middle School. Our students need her. I know I'm not alone in my belief that she is a teacher who goes beyond and above and beyond for her students. We hope that you will see that blank should keep their place at Tropical Middle School. Thank you for your time. Can I say their name? The person who wrote it?
Yes.
Thank you for your time, Maria Copeland.
Just lose a card over there?
It sounded like we lost the roof.
In a house, okay. And that was our email. Consent items A through J. Any questions?
All right, well, if there is no questions, I will make a motion to accept A through J.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. A second reading and review of updates to board policy bylaws 9223 and board policy bylaws 9250. Superintendent Gates?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to direct the board's attention to page 89 in your board packet. And because this is, some of these revisions are the revisions, most of these revisions are the revisions that the board collaboratively provided to us. So I just want you to know and to please look those pages over, because the next time you will have these back for the third time, it will be as an action item. So make sure that and if you catch anything that you want to change, please bring it to my attention within the next week.
Option B, second reading and review of December 2022 board policies. Kate?
Yes. These are also second reading, and you have a little cheat sheet here. It kind of gives you an idea why certain options had to be selected. Sometimes it has to do with ADA, or it's our unduplicated count, various things. But these board policies will return on March 15 as an action item.
Southern Kern Unified School District Transportation Plan, Mr. Irving?
Alrighty, so this is a draft, so it's not the actual plan, but information, so that next board meeting, when it comes back to you guys, you know, have some, hopefully we get more feedback and then, you know, it's more fleshed out. So background information. This year is the this part of the state budget. We are able to get up to 60% of our expenses for transportation reimbursed by the state. As part of the conditions for this, districts need to come up with a transportation plan. For districts like ours, we've already been offering transportation, so I think the idea of the plan is more for larger urban districts that don't offer home-to-school transportation, or where students are more reliant on public access, or, you know, AVTA or Get Up in Bakersfield, like public buses, trains, etc. So, where the plan is geared primarily towards elementary school kids, so to encourage, continuous going to school, get in the habit early, it sticks with you, as well as, just safety concerns of having our littles, on the roads and sidewalks walking to and from school. This is what the current AR 351 for Southern Kern is, where it lays out what our ranges for the grade spans are. So for grades K3, it's 3/4 of a mile, 4 through 8, 1 mile, 7 through 9, 1 mile, and high school grades 9 through 12 is 2 miles. So this is the range that, if you're outside that area, the district is offering transportation. If you're within that range, you may be, you may have to walk depending on, if you have an IEP or other things I'll get to in a second. And then there's also the caveat of the superintendent or designee can authorize, if it's dangerous, if you're a half mile away, but it's dangerous to walk for that half mile, there's a little carve out for that, so that, and then also within that AR are, specifics for peoples with disabilities, our homeless foster youth, homeless and youth, as well as foster. These are, who the transportation is geared towards, to make sure that they have all of the available resources possible. This is demographic information about what our ridership is as of this year. We have 12 routes. We have on any given day about 1,100 for the sake of a round number students transported. TK6 or through 680 are unduplicated count of students with bus passes is 1,395, so 1,400. And then you'll see that down here, bus passes sold, the number is 0 because we don't charge for initial bus passes. We want it to be available to everybody. It's been part of our LCAT for years, so that we can have as large of a transportation department as we can, and to encourage ridership and coming to school, getting all the educational benefits, as well as access to food service and everything else. And then also on here, well, you see that the free bus passes issued, and then the 0 for special ed is because their transportation is from their door to the school, so kind of don't need a bus pass when they're coming out of the front door. We assume that they are, well, we're not assuming anything. We have their names, but they're we know those students, who they are. They're drivers and the students, and transportation aides that build rapport and everything with those students, given all of their specialized needs. Overall, we travel about 150,000 miles a year for home to school transportation. That doesn't include any of our trips for athletics, everything else. And here's more of my piece of the pie is the expenses of all of this, of how much does this cost. To get an estimate of what a reimbursement for this year would be, we're looking at last year's total numbers, where the largest piece of cost of our transportation is with any other department is salaries and benefits, with nearly $11 million, almost $12 million there, with some additional expenses for supplies, parts, tires, gas, oil, all of the things, so that we have the buses and they actually run. As well as capital outlay for, as we've improved the fleets over the last couple of years. We got 3 buses a couple of years ago. We got a new sped bus last year. So anyways, grand total for last year's transportation expenses, 1.683. So almost $1.7 million. And now this is, the revenue side of it is if the state is willing to reimburse for anything other than capital expense because, they gotta draw a line somewhere and, the bigger ticket items is where they put their line. Given the $1.6 million less our $100,000 for capital outlay estimated, 60% is 947,000. As part of our LCFF base grant, the district gets $415,000 for home to school transportation. And going back to this slide, that $415,000 doesn't cover, it would be, everything other than salaries and benefits, basically. So, we'd have some nice buses that, have supplies, just nobody to drive or operate them. So that's why we use as much LCAP as we do with transportation, is because it's vital to, get everybody to school. But so if we take out that, our capital expenditure and our home to school transport, 60% then whittles down to about $500,000, which is still, nothing to sneeze at. It's, anything to help, increase revenue for the district is, a net positive. So that is the end of my presentation on what our transportation department is currently doing. We're seeking, feedback on anything that anybody may have of suggestions to, make it better. Where we've, in addition to expanding our own fleet, have, are looking at possibly working with Kern Regional Transit, since we don't have, local public transportation there. Is it an option of folks that are within their walking range of maybe, the district provides, a pass for them to use their vehicles and stuff, so that again, we're getting kids to school as safely and as often as possible. That's one of the options. There's already is put together a survey along with Dan to go to parents and stuff to get more feedback from them. That includes questions and opportunity for suggestions. But while I had a captive audience, I figured anybody else got questions, suggestions?
Actually, we have the recess.
Oh, there we go. I'll let you do your guys' job. That's fine.
So,
I'll make a motion to recess for public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
3.
Aye.
Okay, now we can do public comments.
Okay, sorry.
So, I have a question. So I know for the high school, it says 2 miles. West Park, that area, there's a bunch of people up there and that's within 2 miles. So they all walk to school, all the high school kids over there. Is there an option for a bus route like up there somewhere to get these kids to school quicker or more efficiently
In the plan, decrease
Actually,
the
we
number of
haul
miles?
from West Park.
for high school?
I believe so, don't we?
But I think they decreased in the plan. I thought there was a decrease in the amount of miles for the high school. Wasn't there?
Yes, at least tentatively is, the draft, but with the presentation went with, okay, this is what our current board regulation on mileage is, and again, there's, always, within that, the option to go smaller, so that we can have a smaller radius to, have walk on days where it may be windy and raining and snowing simultaneously. Like, if and when that ever happens.
So is it a possibility that we could decrease the range from 2 miles to 1 mile?
Yeah, I mean, it would take some planning to make sure that, we have enough routes and vehicles and everything that, but, I mean, if it's coordinated right, I think it's within reason, yeah. So.
Mr. Irving, I have a question. When is your submittal deadline for your transportation plan?
Needs to be board approved April 1st,
Okay,
but, I mean, it is just a, okay, it's approved, it doesn't, there's no caveats on, okay, you can't revise it after a certain date or anything like that. I mean, the whole point of all these plans is to, look at, analyze, and then revise so that we can,
I was just gonna piggyback on what Ms. Hepburn said, that perhaps that's something that we could look into between now and April 1st.
Yeah.
With obviously discussing that with the transportation department.
Yeah.
If we, decrease the mileage for the West Park high school students, would we be able to accommodate them every single day?
Yeah.
Going to the high school, that would be really great if we could.
yeah.
I think that would also help for the kids that are walking across the bridge.
Yeah.
Because I think that's even more dangerous in my opinion than
So the
from
bus,
West Park.
so
If they're over 2 miles that way, they also,
Yeah.
or within 2 miles that way, they also have to walk
kids walking all the
or
time.
provide
Well, I
transportation.
know we do pick up at, across the tracks.
Yes, because
Yeah,
that's outside the 2 mile radius.
And then with things like having access
The ones
to
right by the
kids and
park
everything, where,
They did have-
and the DAC meeting that me and Desiree attended to talk about this too, Matt brought up, okay, there's the heat map in that shows, especially the absenteeism rates, okay, where are the areas that, where we're, taking advantage of the tools we have of, these are the heat maps that have the areas that are, higher percentage of chronic absenteeism, so that we can.
So, yeah, I think we specifically looked at that point, like at Roseman Elementary, it's like, where were the hot spots, where the most absences were occurring, and were they in that range that they were supposed to walk and would a bus stop in that area at all? So that was it, yeah.
Yeah, and we talked with Desiree about that too. And she wanted to have some type of survey, which is, I think that you guys are working on too, just to see, would that help? Is that something that if we offered in this, would you take advantage of it? But it would definitely help, all of our schools have absenteeism problems, and is it transportation? It's something to look into.
Any more comments?
And then motion to go back into normal meeting.
I will second that. All in favor? Aye. All right, business. Here we go. Request for proposal, Southern Kern Unified School District Voice over IP Phone System Installation, Part 2. RFP number 2023-03, Mr. Wexler.
As we've talked about, the district is expanding our voice over IP phone system. And this is the second RFP for Roseman High School, which we'll install over the summer. The first RFP was for the cabling part, so somebody to come and run all the cables. This is for the equipment. So you've got the server, the switches, the phones themselves, the horns, the bells. So yeah, that's what this is for. And it's going to be funded through ESSER.
Thank you. Approve resolution number 2223-14, California Schools Healthy Air Plumbing and Efficiency Program governing body. Mr. Irving.
Alrighty, so for Sunny and Mara, you may recall a resolution that looked a lot like this that went to board back in October as part of the CalShape program that was for plumbing fixtures to use a state grant to replace fixtures that don't meet efficiency standards anymore. This is part of the same program. This is the HVAC side of the house. So this resolution is for, if approved, would put us in line for nearly $800,000 worth of, to go towards HVAC efficiency that would bring in people to, do testing to make sure that, all the units are working the way they should in all of the rooms, meeting, air quality standards that, including CO2 monitoring. So,
At all campuses?
yes, district-wide.
I will make a motion to accept the resolution.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Alright. Approve the following listed personnel items and your corrections, Ms. Fergus.
Yes, we're just asking that our, the items be approved with the corrections.
Motion to accept the personnel items with the corrections that were made at the beginning of the meeting.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, and adjournment? Thank you. Wait a second. All in favor? Aye.
It is 8:14.